guys, Jake from SBG Tapes. Welcome back to YouTube channel. Here in my garage.
Here in my garage, knowledge.
We're gonna be doing a little S2000 review. So we're gonna talk about like the mods needed and probably how much it costs. Because everyone usually asks me that. How much did it cost? Or people usually ask other people, how much does it cost to turbo this car? So you're gonna find out today. Before we get into this video, please make sure you go subscribe. We've noticed about 60% of you that watch our videos aren't subscribed. That goes a long way. We enjoy everything we do for you guys and really enjoy making videos and content for ourselves and for the people. And everyone that's been there, we appreciate it greatly. Just stick with us because we got a lot more coming for you this summer. So typically, like when you're gonna go turbo a car, you're gonna think about maybe looking for like a kit, like a turbo kit. You know, you're not just gonna, I mean, some people piece together everything, which is fine. You know, people want certain stuff. So there's plenty of different kits out there if you're looking to do an actual kit, or if you know how to TIG and like do that stuff, make your own, because I think you can make it more efficiently on your own. Not saying, I'm not knocking any of these companies because they're phenomenal companies, but so you have like Full Race makes its own kit, Full Blown Motorsports makes its own kit, Science of Speed has their own kit, Schmuck Build obviously. Those are like the main ones I can think of at the moment. I'm sure there's some other places I can't think of. Sheepy Built used to make a bunch of stuff for these cars, which was very similar to Schmuck Built, if you ask me. So this is considered a long tube header manifold. For people that don't understand how that stuff works in a turbo car, the shorter your runners are to that turbo, the quicker it's going to spool, because obviously your exhaust gases are just getting to the turbo immediately. I've seen people with these motors, which again, everyone knows Honda makes way more horsepower than torque. These motors are not a torque monster, you know what I mean? So people with short runners can make just as much torque as horsepower on these motors. I put a Borg Warner on here because I heard some not so good things about precision and turbonetics and stuff right now. Borg Warner I would love to fully back because they're 100% American and they build some of the toughest turbos for the cheapest costs, and I just think that is cool, and I think they should continue to do that, and I will fully back that. This is a smaller turbo in my opinion. It's only a 61 millimeter. Again, like I said, it spools really quick and holds the power the whole way through. I haven't even turned a boost up in it yet, and I cannot wait to do that. But everyone has their choice, so for me personally, I would go with Borg Warner. The twin scroll I think is very good for a street car because it just fine tunes your turbo. It's very efficient on how it disperses exhaust gases compared to a single scroll turbo, which to me, if you're pushing like 1,000+ horsepower, I don't think it fucking matters. That air and that exhaust gas is just going to go 100 mile an hour as fast as it wants to go, and it's going to spool the turbo, especially if you're making 50 pounds of boost. Doesn't matter how that air goes through there. It's just going. It's like a freight train. When you want to turbo one of these cars, obviously your fuel system is important. The only thing done to this is injectors and a fuel pump. From my understanding, it had 1,000cc injectors and like a 255 fuel pump, which is, I haven't pulled any of them yet. I haven't pulled the fuel pump, and it's the same one that's been in it. Yeah, so that's probably looking at like $1,000 just for that stuff. Maybe like $800, depends on who you go with. Catch can, even if you have an NA Honda, I definitely would get a catch can. These things, so much pressure inside. You know, you're screaming on a motor 9,000 RPM, that oil is going to go somewhere. So if it's not going to go safely into a catch can, it's going to go out seals and blow out valve covers and all kinds of stupid crap. So I have a 4-inch intercooler with 3-inch intercooler piping, which may be overboard for some people, because I know you can get away with 2.5 and still make 700 horsepower. I've seen it. So my downpipe is also 3-inch all the way down, and then the rest of my exhaust kind of slims down a little bit the rest of the way out. I do plan on making a full 3-inch. When you turbo this car, you're adding a lot more heat to the side of the motor, and so like that's why I cut my holes in the hood, and like a lot of people do, because the heat is dispersing through there. It just, you don't want to have heat soak, and like I'm still need to hook up my oil temp sensor so I can actually really, you know, think about that and see what it's doing. I don't have I still have the stock oil cooler, so I know a lot of people go to a like Mishimoto, like aftermarket or something like that, which is fine. I haven't gotten that far yet because of spacing issues. So there's no like Like I was talking about, like exhaust, the downpipe is 3-inch. I have a test pipe that goes to 2 3/4, and then the catback is 2.5. They don't make like turbo exhaust for these cars because obviously they're never meant to be turboed. So all of your exhausts are usually 2.5-inch. Again, it works for me. I do think a 3-inch would allow it to breathe a little easier or make more power or boost, so to speak. I have a Buddy Club Spec 2 catback with a Skunk 2 test pipe. And like I said, the downpipe's custom by a schmuck built. So you gotta really find what works best for you. You can eliminate the test pipe and just make an own custom exhaust the whole way back. Or like I said, you're just gonna have to buy one of those aftermarket companies. My exhaust, the catback was 600 and the test pipe was I think 125. So, you know, 725, 750 with shipping and all that. Gauges, so if you don't have like a Fuel Tech or Haul Tech system in your dash, you gotta have gauges at the minimum. You gotta know what your car's doing, just even temps. You can tell a lot of what your motor is doing based on coolant temp, oil temp, your air fuel, boost. Definitely boost and air fuel I'd say is your top 2 priorities when you're gonna boost one of these, because if one of those 2 messes up, that motor is gone. If your air fuel, if you lean out, you're done. If you overboost, you're done. You just don't want to break stuff. So like I said, air fuel and boost are your big priorities. You would definitely want to have those gauges. I have a coolant temp gauge just to, like I said, it tells you a lot about the engine. If it's really hot, you don't want to push it. You might throw a rod, you might do something stupid. If your coolant temp, usually your coolant temp and your oil temp correlate because your coolant cools your oil. So if your coolant temp is at 220, 230, you can probably only imagine your oil temp's at like 240, and that's like, your engine's gonna blow up. So, like I said, temperature can go a long way with just telling how healthy your engine is. A lot of people, they'll really just keep the motor stock. They'll do valve springs and retainers, head studs, and like I said, maybe like a thicker head gasket to lower the compression a little bit. Because as you lower the compression, that means you can throw more boost comfortably. So stock, these things are 11-to-1 compression ratio. For me, I would like to go down to about 9.5 or 10. I think that would, you'd comfortably be able to run 20 pounds of boost and not worry about your engine going through the roof. Because that's, like I said, it comes down to how much pressure that engine can take before it decides to go. And the catch cans and stuff like that play a role in that. So if you can vent your engine, again, you're allowing the engine to pump harder and just give you more power like that you're looking for.
Nice.
So cost wise, I spent right around $3,000 for this schmuck built turbo kit. That was everything I needed: intercooler, piping, minus the turbo. The turbo, that one was about, I only paid like $800 for that. So yeah, BorgWarner's pretty cheap. Now we know somebody also too, so like that helped us out. Like cost of like blow-off valves, wastegates. Like wastegates right now are ridiculous. For 2 of them, it's like $600 some. I cannot understand that. Blow-off valve's still pretty cheap, probably like high 200s, 300 right now. Like I said, fuel system is like, depending on what you do, could be $1,000+ if you want to go ethanol. You're looking at like $1,600 and up probably for a full fuel system. So right there, you're probably already like $5,000 for just trying to do the basics of a turbo kit on one of these cars. And then you have to think about your ECU. I have an AEN Series 2. That's about $1,000 right now. And then if you went with like an Infinity, or you went like Haltech or Honda or anybody else, you're still looking at like probably another $1,000 for a computer. So again, right there, you're like $6,000 already. Then you gotta get it tuned. So I go to John Kerr from Carlisle, and he does a really good job. Highly recommend him to anybody, especially Hondas and stuff. That was $500 or $600 for a tune. So we talk about a final number. Again, depending on who you go with, companies and whatnot, most turbo kits are right around the same $3,000. Overall, you're probably looking at about $7,000, $7,500. Again, depends on how far you go, how much power you want to really make, what kind of fuel you're using. You could be anywhere from up to $10,000. So, like I said, everyone has their own thing, and you pick what you want and make it work. We're trying to keep you guys updated with how this kit's working and our power numbers. I get tuned in May. That same weekend, I'm gonna go do an 1/8 mile and test it and see what it does. And I kind of want to start talking about that because I would like to get into drag racing with it. I'm actually a Honda tech professionally. I love these cars. I'm really the only one in the shop that touches them. I just have a passion for them. If anybody that watches these videos, or you know somebody, have a friend, relative, whatever in this area, I would love to work on the car. You can hit me up on Instagram. Hit us up at Seven Valleys Garage, or comment below if you know somebody. We'll link up and talk, or whatever you want to do. I'll do anything really on these cars. If you need a clutch or turbo kit installed, fuel pump, injectors, motor. I haven't built any of these yet. It's funny, I just got done building another Honda motor. If you need anything done, just hit us up and we'll do our best to help. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you do have questions that we didn't really answer, comment below, or like I said, hit us up individually and we'll be more than welcome to help or answer your questions. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks for watching guys. We're going to see you Wednesday, and we'll have more videos coming every Wednesday at 11 a.m. So stay tuned and we'll see you then.
Mm-hmm.